Hey, what is going on everybody, it's Epic here and welcome back to a new video on the channel. And today I want to talk about a subject which I've seen floating around for a little while now, but I want to discuss it with you guys to see what you think of it. Today we're going to be discussing the very popular theory, as it seems, that Borderlands 3 could possibly be getting more content in the future. But before we get into that, I do just want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by EpicNNG. If you do want to save yourself some money on a cleaner, more reliable form of energy, please use code NNG at the checkout on the EpicNNG website to save yourself tons of money. And with that, let's get right into it. Now, this is a theory which I had seen floating around a few weeks ago, or mainly on Twitter, and it was basically that Borderlands 3 could get more DLC after DLC 4 for Wonderlands is done. And despite there being little evidence for why this could actually be true, I thought I'd do my own researching today and dive into why this could or could not be true with you guys, and then gauge your thoughts on it afterwards. The first thing I want to talk about is Google Trends. This is a statistic that a lot of companies and also just a lot of people in general use to gauge interest on certain projects or certain games, TV shows, or even public figures around the world. It basically shows a rough estimate of how many people in the world are searching for a certain term, and by doing so you're able to gauge interest in that topic. Now, as you guys can see on screen right now, in a worldwide search over the past 12 months, you can see that Wonderlands around the time of its launch in March had more interest than Borderlands 3, of course, because it was the new game coming out. But as time went on, around April-Mayish time, Borderlands 3 sees a resurgence, actually going above Wonderlands, and is currently leveling out around there. Now, the next thing I want to bring your attention to is the Steam charts. This is a very popular tool when people argue the case of whether or not a game is dying. They take a look at the Steam charts, and based on how the game's performing, they get their judgment off of that and decide whether or not a game is doing good or bad. Now, I should clarify before I show you these Steam charts, this is not a clear indicator of popularity in a game. While it is a massive factor, it does not mean that emphatically a game is completely dead. However, I will say that it is a good metric to judge regardless, and if we take a look at the Steam charts for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, we can see that while it is maintaining around 2,000 or so players, it has recently lost over 1,600 players on Steam, which is not a good look considering it only recently just came out on Steam. However, alternatively, if we look at the Borderlands franchise, we can see that Borderlands 3 is high up on the list with 4,000 current players, only reporting a drop of around 241 players in the past 30 days. But why are we talking about these analytics here? Well, the reason why is because a lot of people believe that due to the performance of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands after DLC 4, Gearbox is not going to continue development on the game and are instead going to be switching back to Borderlands 3 for one more string of content. And while this is a good theory and a good idea, I mean, face it, you do want to focus your efforts on the most successful game, I have some doubts here as to why they may not do this. Firstly are the bugs in Borderlands 3 that still have not been fixed. For those of you out of the loop, Borderlands 3 was left with some pretty terrible game-breaking bugs, one of which was the vendor crashing issue, which still to this day has not been addressed. And while it is entirely possible that Gearbox could just be waiting for the time to do a patch and fix it, which it would most likely require since the bug was introduced with a patch, I don't think they are going to be doing that here. It seems as though if they were going to do any meaningful patch to Borderlands 3, they would have done it a while ago, but that has not happened. Another reason why I don't think that Borderlands 3 is going to be getting another season pass is because, well, quite frankly, Gearbox aren't selling Borderlands 4 off the back of Borderlands 3. Despite Gearbox's adamant claims that Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is not a Borderlands game, it's pretty evident to anybody that has played it that it is 1000% in the Borderlands franchise, or in the Lands franchise at least. And not only that, but regardless of the developer's intentions, with players looking at this game like it's a Borderlands game, it means that they have to sell Borderlands 4 off the back of it. Due to Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford, players now know that that Borderlands 4 is indeed in development, but we don't know when it's coming out. However, regardless of when it's releasing, it's no secret that Gearbox are going to have to get players invested in the game, and the only way players are going to do so is by going off of their prior experiences with these games. And considering the state of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands right now, I don't think it's at all plausible that Gearbox is going to just out of nowhere switch up and go back to Borderlands 3 development and not try to save Wonderlands in any way. While it may help boost the performance of Borderlands 3, what it is certainly not going to do is help out Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is forever going to leave players feeling like they were ripped off, and as such may decrease sales for Borderlands 4. So in short, I don't actually think they're going to be working on any kind of new content for Borderlands 3, but a lot of players have said that if they release new takedowns or new gear, they would happily pay for it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, would I want more content for Borderlands 3? Absolutely. But do I think it's going to get any? Not a chance. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.